Hello, my name is Kevin Sanchez, and my film was about a high school baseball player who is in his last week of his high school career and is about to finish his recruiting process. This first scene is him going down the stairs and saying hello to one of his fellow classmates, and they both just talk about the important game that's coming up later that night, and it shows a little bit of the connections that our main character has made throughout his high school career.
So, Kevo, the game that we guys want to get today. So we got Naples today. Where at? Naples, 6 o'clock. Be there. Bet I'll be there. See you, bro.
Didn't matter how.
Now, after that scene, there's one question that I should answer. So that question is, how does my product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? So my product challenges conventions because a large percentage of the high school population believe that the process of playing college sports is all happiness with no stepbacks and very little hard work. But as we see throughout the film, the main character spends a lot of his time either practicing out on the field or trying his hardest in the classroom in order to succeed academically. But as also shown in the film, the character does get injured, which shows the harsh reality that there are indeed a lot of setbacks throughout the entire recruiting process. We also decided to name our film The Journey because it's this movie just represents, a little bit of everything throughout his recruiting process, from the ups to the downs. So we just felt like it was just fitting. This next scene, it shows our main character going into class and, trying to catch up on all of his work academically so he's able to stay on top of things, not only on the field, but off the field as well.
Cuba was at baseball. He still had to attend class.
Morning, miss.
Morning, Brett.
Watch out, 13. Textbook.
In that scene, once again, his best friend is always there to help him through every step of the way, not only to get him better on the field, but also to help him stay on top of all of his academic work. Now, how does my product engage with the audience? My product engages with the audience by showing a lot of the personal connections made by the main character with his friends, teachers, coaches, and even the school doctor. Showing all of these connections made between the characters that are all teenagers shows the authenticity of the film and just shows the connections that are being made are real. This next scene shows our main character working out on the field relentlessly for hours and hours to just get better every day and every second that he's out on that field.
Every day after school, he went straight to the baseball field to practice.
In this scene, we decided not to keep a couple of his mistakes in, such as his mistakes of hitting a couple balls wrongly, just to show that in reality, no practice will always be perfect, and even as a Division 1 prospect, you will always be making mistakes at practice, and that is something that you should be okay with, as that's something perfectly normal and should not be avoided.
Even when he was feeling down.
In this scene, we show that he is injured. He injured his quad, and we decided to put this in the film to show that the reality of being in this process is that there will be stepbacks and there will be injuries that you will have to go through. So we decided to show this to show that everyone goes through this, and to not to just keep the authenticity of the film going.
He kept on pushing and pushing. Even though sometimes he was hurt, he still got back up.
In this upcoming scene, it shows our main character and the school doctor talking about his injury, and his school doctor trying his best to help him recover as quickly as possible. A question I should answer is, how did our production skills develop throughout the project? At the beginning of the project, my team and I were very lost in terms of what to do, whether it was creating our script, characters, or even the location of our shots. But the more and more time we spent on these shots, the more and more we felt how the characters felt inside the film. So we slowly started figuring out how they would talk and what their body language would show during certain shots. We also learned a lot about the difference that camera angles can make in order to set apart a good shot from an amazing shot. For example, in the beginning, we rarely used any action shots to show what was going on. But as we started researching more on how we could improve our scenes, we figured out that shots like this would help us a lot to portray more detail of what was happening throughout the film.
What happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, I got cleaned out practice.
Yeah, I can see that. I got just a thing for you. By the way, aren't you signing tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Bro, I'll be there, bro.
And eventually,
This scene shows our main character finally signing with his dream school.
he got the recognition he deserved.
I'm proud to announce that I'll be furthering my athletic and academic career at Blackfoot University. How are you, Coach? Good to see you.
Good, how about you?
Good.
So, I heard that you decided to become a Bronco. I'm very glad that you chose that path. So, as you can see, that's what we're going to be doing over the summer. Hitting balls, all that, catching, fielding. Just hope you have a good time.
And that was just the beginning.
That final scene just recapped the whole recruitment process and how it paid off for him. The last question I should answer is, how do we integrate technologies in this project? We integrated technologies in our project by using editing software such as iMovies or CapCut, which helped us add music over our scenes as well as text and even voiceovers. These softwares were easily accessible on our phones, so it made it pretty easy for us to pick up our phones and make any minor changes that we thought were necessary at the time. Thank you.